So now let's look at some tips that have to do with the system settings. A lot of these are going to be things that we work on in system preferences. I want to start with the Spotlight search results. So you can bring up Spotlight by clicking on the magnifying glass there in the menu bar, or you can use Command Space to bring it up. And you can search for various things there. You can specify what type of results to show in system preferences. So for that you want to go to Spotlight, and under search results there's a whole list of different things that can show up. For instance, if you don't want to have email messages and text messages show up, you can have those not show up there. If you don't want to have suggestions show up, or system preferences, or different things like that, and even definitions, you can kind of tailor what it is that you'll see when you do a Spotlight search. A lot of times we can get overwhelmed by all the stuff that a Spotlight search returns, and it's important to keep it useful by kind of narrowing what it is that you want. Also in system preferences we have the ability to hide the dock and the menu bar. So if you want to hide the dock, you can go to dock right here, and you have the ability to hide it by turning on automatically hide and show the dock. So you notice it doesn't appear there, but if I turn it off, then the dock's always there. So if it's always there and it's kind of getting in your way, you can have it automatically hide and show. Likewise, you can also have the menu bar hidden as well. So automatically hide and show the menu bar does the same kind of thing. It's not there until I move the cursor to the top, and then it appears. It's great to get rid of the menu bar and the dock if you really want to concentrate on what you're doing. This is something writers like to do a lot, to basically minimize the interface, minimize distractions. Now if we go over to sound system preferences, one thing that you can do is you can turn on show volume in the menu bar. So if you don't already have that on, you want to turn that on, you'll see sound show here. And notice that you can do more than just change the volume. You can actually change the output device. And in addition to that, if I hold the Option key down and select, I can change the input device as well. So if you have multiple microphones, like I have a headset and a regular microphone, I can switch between them, and also a webcam there as well. And then I have many ways to output sound, including AirPlay devices. So it's really handy to just have quick access to them without going to system preferences. Now volume control is usually easy because you have these volume buttons on the keyboard. So I can press those and you can see the volume up and volume down. If you want smaller increments, notice how big the increments are here, you can simply hold down the Shift and Option keys, and notice that it's moving up and down in smaller increments. Just using the Shift key, by the way, will give you some feedback. You'll hear a little audible sound, a beep, when you are doing it that way. So sometimes that can be useful to try to gauge the sound output when you have no sound going on at the current time. So here's a common thing that people run into. They plug in a camera or an iPhone and they find that the Photos app automatically launches, and it brings it up every single time. You don't want iTunes to launch. You don't want Photos to launch. You want to do those manually yourself. So there are many different ways to handle that. One way is in Photos you have the ability, there'll be a checkbox at the top here when you actually connect a device. So for instance, I will plug in a memory card, and then when the memory card is read, it will actually show up here. See, it says the name of the memory card. That's the same as plugging in a camera or an iPhone. And you can see there at the top, open Photos for this device. And you'll see that for iPhones as well. So to do this with iTunes, it's a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to go and plug in my iPhone. And when I plug in my iPhone, nothing's going to happen because I have this disabled. But if I go into iTunes and then I click on the little icon for the phone here, then I can see all the details about it, and I can check the automatically sync when this phone is connected. And I have that unchecked, which is why iTunes didn't launch when I first plugged my iPhone in. So those are some ways to prevent these apps from launching when you plug in your devices.